Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Ms.Sherry A Singh and today we are going to see Current Affairs Part 4. And today in this complete session, we are going to understand current affairs topic wise. So from one topic, how we can create cut and paste clipping, and how one information that appears in your newspaper which you may feel that it is only related to one topic, one subject, it has wider dimensions. Then finally, a very cliched statement, we are going to also see again how to interlink the information. Because in your main examination, it is all about interlinking the news, information or the data, whatever you have, your syllabus. For example, let's say in your GS paper 2, you cannot say whatever is valid for in GS paper 2 is completely invalid for GS paper 3. There will be some overlapping sections, overlapping information where you have to keep your focus as well. Let's say if you get any question about national disaster response. Now this response is also associated with the governance, right? Governance falls in your GS paper 2. Therefore, you have to interlink your information. You have to see, okay, now this is one piece of information there in front of me. I can use it in GS paper 1, I can use it in GS paper 2. But the way you represent your information, the way you write your answer, that will vary. There comes the role of your writing practice. So try to create some 1 hour slot throughout your day where you have to do, at least you have to write one answer daily. With this, you also have something very important and very humongous, that is your essay paper. Now the content of essay you will again get from the newspaper, from the magazine and maybe from the books that you are reading. Again, this is essay is nothing but how you articulate your ideas, how do you represent, how you write. Whatever the approach you follow in your complete GS paper 4, like GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4, that approach is different. Content is same, information is same, but approach is different. And when you write essay, your approach, the way you handle the essays will be different. Right? So today we are going to see how to handle the topic wise situation, the topic wise content, cut and paste clipping, what are they? In the very first session, that was current affairs part 1, I talked about cut and paste clippings, and then interlinking the information obviously is very inevitable part of our preparation. So let's try to have the first look that we are going to see about is, I want you to have a focus on map of Meghalaya. Can you see Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura? Please get on to Meghalaya. The significance of Meghalaya, yes, it is there, Garo Khansi Jaintia Hills, Masaram, but nowadays it was in news because of Rathole Mining, which was an illegal mining. So that tragedy, it was not something which was very sudden or abrupt, rather it was a tragedy that was long in making because it was illegal. How illegal mining was still going on in Meghalaya, that in itself is a question. Now this shows that there is lack of governance. We'll be talking about today with this issue of Meghalaya about governance. You know that governance is different from governing. That is why it is also in your GS paper 2. Right? So it was unfortunate that the district administration assumed the miners to be dead on the very day of the tragedy. So when this tragedy happened, the district administration on itself assumed that all the miners, those who were stuck into that rat hole mine, they would be dead. So the rescue, it came very late. So the complete rescue, it was being delayed and it came very late. That means response was there, but responsiveness was missing. You have responded to the situation. You have responded to the situation, correct? But you have responded late. आपने लेट उस पे एक्शन लिया, you are not responsive. And responsiveness is basically the core essence of governance. So the trapped miners were being racially profiled in the minds of the people and the state as well. Of the complete 15 miners, only 3 were locals from the nearby village of Lumthari. The rest were Muslims from Garo Hills, Meghalaya and Bodoland, Assam. So again there is social profiling. Who to protect, whom to protect? मैं अगर state हूँ, if I am state administration, then out of 15, I'll do some sort of social profiling. Some social profiling would refer to that I am also stereotypical in my mindset that I have to protect these people, I have to reject, I am not going to protect those people because they are belonging to certain community. Society, social setup, it also plays a vital role, but not in the mindset of the administration. So administration has to be neutral. It has to take those actions which are for the welfare of all, not for some section of society. It is their role to maintain law and order without doing any kind of differentiation. So the third statement says that, the fourth one, their socio-economic profile also worked against them. So the state administration or the district administration, the people involved basically, not the complete administration, they felt that we have to rescue these 4 people first, so they rescued them and the rest they were being left to the destiny. They were the poorest of the poor who took a huge risk to enter a mine and dig for coal without any safety gear. That is why it is illegal mining, where there is no protection, nothing, no gear. So there are many questions that arise with respect to Rathole mining of coal. Why is it still continuing? We are living in a democratic country. We are having so many laws. We are having one of the largest constitutions of the world. Then why such kind of illegal things happen in our country? So the tribes of Meghalaya are divided on the issue of Rathole mining. The fault lines are very clear. Those who care for the environment and for a future for their children and grandchildren have been clamoring, have been shouting very loudly and in clear voice that we need to end the practice of Rathole mining and reckless limestone mining as well. On the other hand, the mining elite, so that mining elite can be from the tribal itself, they have mobilized forces to demonize environmental activities. So all these mining elite or the people, those who are in the favor of such kind of Rathole mining, they are basically in favor of Rathole mining and they have mobilized, they have done something to demonize environmental activists. So anybody who is going to come and saying that, okay, I am there to protect the environment, I am this agency, I am working with this NGO, something they have created that those environmental activists, they are considered as negative people, bad people, or somebody, those who are against society. Also, we have to understand about 6th schedule that was enacted to protect the community rights of tribals from any form of exploitation of their land and resources, and unfortunately these mining elites, they are trying to invoke 6th schedule in their favor. So how can it now be used as an instrument to protect an activity that is private enterprise, number one, which is above all inhuman and violates Article 21 of the Constitution? Why is 6th schedule unable to protect the forest and rivers that are common property resources because of illegal mining? Majority rivers in Meghalaya, they are polluted and their acidic level is very high. Now why 6th schedule is unable or it has failed to protect the forest and rivers that are common property resources and which are for the welfare of all? That's the point, that's the question. Right? So with respect to Meghalaya, number one, we have seen that there was delayed response and also assumptions were being created that fine, the day itself when there was tragedy, the district administration, it assumed that all the miners stuck, they are dead. Then there was social profiling. It was assumption based decision. Tomorrow you are going to become district magistrates. So you cannot have assumptions. You have to do everything. You have to take every action to protect the people, those who are in crisis, to maintain law and order. Second thing, when action was being taken, it was being done on social issues. Thirdly, we know that there was lack of Responsiveness, response was there, but responsiveness was not there. And finally, we will say that there was lack of governance. Then, role of sixth schedule. All these are important points for you to see what is the role of sixth schedule. Has sixth schedule failed to protect environment, water, river or other things, the natural resources which are there for the welfare of the people? So the welfare essence is missing. The idea of welfare is not there. Meghalaya, map of Meghalaya, Garo, Khalsi, Jaintia, all these hills, the name, the important cities should be very clear to you, because you can encounter some question about the geography of Meghalaya itself in your prelims. Plus with this you can also encounter certain very important opinion based question in your mains examination, GS paper 2 as well as in your GS paper 3. Now also about the response, disaster response. Disaster has occurred, it was a man-made disaster, but response has to be there. Again, it was the lack of responsiveness. There was belated actions that were being taken. Right. Proceeding. We are going to talk about another very crucial issue which is going on in our country, that is all about hate crime. Hate crime consists of that, okay fine, I belong to a particular community, religion, region, I feel that I am superior to others. So I would inflict what? Pain to others. I can kill them, I can mutilate them, or whatever action I feel like I can do that. Lynching is also the part of hate crime. So hate racism, hate discrimination, hate bullying, hate homophobia, hate disableism. Let's end hate crime. We are talking about hate crime. We know about hate speech as well. We have talked about mob violence, where lynching is very frequent, is very common nowadays in every newspaper. We have to see, we have to gauge what is the level of hate crime in a secular country like India, and the results will be mind-boggling. Hate Crime Watch. There is one multi-organization which is trying to watch, which is trying to keep an eye on the level of hate crime which is occurring in many countries. So Hate Crime Watch, a multi-organization effort steered by fastchecker.in, it says that as of December 26, 2018, India saw 93 attacks motivated by religious hatred. Don't you think it is direct and a blatant violation of secularism? Minorities were the victims in 75% of the incidents. Minorities were the victims. In the 75% of the incidents, religious hatred driven by religious motives. My religion is superior to yours, and also I am in majority, so I have more force to inflict pain on the minorities. The coming data will show you the real picture. So as national crime data do not distinguish between violent crime and crime motivated by religious hatred. It says this is a crime, fine, it is crime. But what type of crime, it is not being highlighted or not being distinguished by National Crime Bureau. Therefore, Hate Crime Watch is the first statistical perspective to a growing phenomenon of such violence. Hatred motivated violence or religious hatred motivated violence. We can see that if you see religion of victims in percentage, Muslims are having approximately 61%, Hindus 10%, and Christian is probably 14%. So you see the situation which is there in front of you. Incidents of hate crime, 75% of the crime, hatred crimes, these religious motivated crimes that have happened, it is against minorities, and also it is increasing. It is on rise since 2009 to 2018. The hatred crime is associated with religious hatred, it is increasing, it is rising year by year. So again, it is what this information, what this data, Hate Crime Watch is telling us, that yes, intolerance is increasing in our country, and also we are not having the patience and we are losing out that pluralistic fabric of our society, because when you start feeling superior and you are trying to prove, it is not necessarily that the real person, the other person, you think based on your own assumptions that person is inferior to you. It is all about your assumptions. Somebody is eating this, we don't eat it. Okay, fine, that's other person's choice. It's all about choice. It's all about decisions that you take in your life. So religion is something which is very core to person's personality, core to person's heart. I'm belonging to one religion, I'm part of one religion, that is fine. That's something which I want to follow. Correct? So that's the idea behind. We can get questions about hate crime again in a GS paper too, right? About governance and how we have failed to control and contain hate crime incidents from 2009 to 2018. Plus, hate crimes watch, simple prelims question can be there in 2020 and even in 2019. Now, let's get a look to good relationship that we have India and South Africa. It's a strategic friendship that we are sharing with them. Strategic would refer to, it's very close, that we are going to be friend in ever thick and thin. And India, South Africa to revise 20-year-old strategic partnership. So this partnership is based on strategic friendship. We are good friends. Good, what is the definition of good? Good would refer to that we will be together even when there are going to be the crisis. We generally say that people, they leave you, friends, they leave you when we get into crisis. But the true friends or the good friends, they remain with you forever. So South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was Republic Day chief guest as well. Simple question. We can also encounter it. Now this strategic friendship or partnership is known as the Red Fort Declaration. Approximately 22 years back it happened in March 1997. So now we are going to revise it. Revise would refer to refresh the things that you are already having, because India is also trying to create inroads, vistas, where? In South Africa and in complete African continent, in order to contain China. It's also the part of our international relations, this information. It is not simply about bilateral relation with South Africa. It is also about how to control China. China is investing massively in this region, but China's role of or the model of investment is only to gain profit. Versus India, which says that we are going for welfare. So with our welfare model in African continent, we are trying to prove that we are having good feelings for the people of complete African continent. We are not driven by any profit motive. We are there for the welfare of the people. We are going for educational institutions, hospitals and other stuff, which China has started to do it as well. But the primary motive is profit, whereas for us it is welfare. But above all, it is all to counter China. People should be singing hosannas about India, not about China. So our approach has to be better than China. The strategic partnership between India and South Africa, called the Red Fort Declaration, was signed in March 1997 by the then South African President Nelson Mandela and former Prime Minister H.D. Devi Gowda. Red Fort Declaration, simple question can be there in front of us in our prelims. Good? Yes. Now, ISRO tastes first success of 2019. So, it is the first success of 2019, not the first success of India. So, the way that we entered into 2019, it is great because we have launched military satellite Microsat-R and on the launcher PSLV C-44 with just 2 strap-on motors. Just 2 extra motors, strap-on, 2 motors which are associated, you can say associated with the rocket through some strap. They are extra attached to provide extra thrust to the engine of the rocket. So launches military satellite Microsat-R on PSLV C-44 with just 2 strap-on motors. Microsat R placed into orbit 13.5 minutes after liftoff is a defense application satellite. It is for the usage of, exclusively for the usage of defense. It is the first time an Indian satellite was being placed by ISRO in a low orbit at an altitude of 274 km. Plus, ISRO also used this launch as an opportunity to demonstrate the usability of the fourth stage of the rocket after the satellite has been ejected into the orbit. Orbit is nothing. It is the path in which the satellite moves. This is the orbit. Now, this is the satellite. It has to have some path. So, this is the orbit. And ISRO has also found to make a way use of the stage with the student satellite, CLAT, made by Space Kids India, weighing just 1.26 kg attached to it. And CLAT is a nano satellite, very small nano satellite. On the name of legend Shri Abdul Kalam ji, CLAT, and it is prepared by Space Kids India. Again, a question for you, weighing just 1.26 kg attached to it. So kudos, just we have entered 2019 and we have made such a great success with respect to our defense and science and technology. Now, this information is also the part of science and technology and also for your military, also for your defense. That is why I'm saying you should know how to interlink the information. When you are growing with respect to your R&D, you are giving a clear-cut signal to the world that, see, India is now not dependent on anybody's else technology. We are self-sufficient and we are growing. And also we are giving a clear and loud message to countries like Pakistan and China. I hope things are getting clear to us. Moving on. Now let's have a look on this map of South America in front of us. Please carry your atlas along with you whenever you go through the session. Venezuela. Equator does not pass through it, neither the Tropic of Capricorn, but it is sharing its boundary with Caribbean Sea. Such sort of geographical questions can be there about Venezuela. Why? Because of the political crisis which is going on in this country. Now, in his labyrinth would refer to, let's have a look at it first. This is labyrinth. Can you see? It's like once you enter into it, the complete passages are so crisscross that you will fail to identify where is the entry and where is the exit. That means it is a state of, utter state of confusion. So this is labyrinth. Now, what I was talking about as a cut and paste clipping, this is there in front of us. So the complete chronological events are being given over here. March 5th, 2013, and then moving on to till Jan 23rd. There is no need. The one thing is that you can wait for this information to appear in the magazine. It is there. You simply have to cut it, paste it and highlight it. Now let's have a look about it. That under Hugo Chavez, Venezuela achieved high economic growth that helped it fuel a pink tide in other Latin American countries as well. However, under Nicolas Maduro, even his picture is there, its economy has shrunk, partially due to rapid fall in oil prices, causing poverty and political instability to rise. And the price of crude oil, the livelihood of Venezuela, export-dependent economy. It is export-dependent economy. The more oil you will sell, the money you will get. From the money you will get, you will try to use that money for the important and significant imports. So this export-dependent economy has seen a drastic fall since 2015, resulting in reduction in the country's export revenue. So there is nothing, you are not generating revenue within your country. Simply you have to sell certain things. You have oil, you have to sell it, and the money from you are getting it from selling of oil. That money you have to use for your own growth, development, plus for certain very significant imports. Needed to finance any key imports, they are now very less, because since 2015 the complete rate of exports have fallen. Now a person named Juan Guaido, he has recognized himself as president of Venezuela. US, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Peru and several other countries in the region, they have recognized Mr. Juan Guaido as the president of Venezuela, as the new president. Whereas the countries that still support Maduro, Nicolas Maduro, who is considered to be responsible for the financial and political crisis in Venezuela, he still support Maduro or call for another election. Cuba, these are the countries, those who are still supporting Maduro or calling for another election. That is Cuba, Bolivia, Mexico and Turkey. So how the political crisis which are going in Venezuela, how it is handled by or has been viewed by different countries, it is also there in this complete picture. It is 100% cut and paste clipping. So was the satellite information. It was again a cut and paste clipping. Simply highlight, mark it as GS paper 3-4 so that when you are revising, you can revise your stuff in a very short period of time. And also try to have your own notes. But notes have to be created in a smart manner. Okay, so now we are done with today's session. But yes, one thing which we cannot leave is all about IS Talent Hunt, which is going to happen on February 17, 2019, where you are going to get and you may win 1 crore scholarship. Now, this will directly lead you to an ambitious dream of becoming IS at 21. So you may join our GS integrated program, which is there for first and second year college students. So when you are preparing for your graduation, when you are already doing your graduation, if you start preparing for civils, that is, if you think that you can become an IS officer and you start preparing for it side by side your graduation, there are high chances that you can become IS just right after your graduation and also IS at 21. Further, if you have any queries, you know where to send your queries at sherry.singh@careerlauncher.com. Correct? Even comment box is eagerly waiting for you if you have any doubt or if you want more videos about it. Yes, or about any topic, I'm there to help you out. Thank you and have a nice day.